Any favorite moments of hostility?
You know, I was always pretty successful, so they didn't want to, I mean, it wasn't that they didn't have a lot of choice words. I always thought their fans were, fairly polite compared to some places.
So who are the most impolite fans?
Well, I mean, you have to understand, I mean, during my time in the SEC, my least welcoming environment was probably Oxford, Mississippi.
Yeah.
I do remember going to recruit up there one day and going to a game. I decided to take a helicopter into the game in Oxford. And they decided it was pretty necessary to make sure there were 9 sheriffs around me at all times while I was at the high school game. I mean, they didn't do that. I mean, every time you go into, when you go into Death Valley and LSU, it's amazing that everyone tells you how you're number one the whole time and ride in there, but they use different finger to tell you. Like I usually like, hey, we're number one. They have a different way of telling you you're number one when you're going into Death Valley. So that's always an interesting one. And they have a lot of choice things to say as the buses kind of pull in, and luckily they have a top now that they can't as much throw things at you. So you have a little bit safer path into the stadium.
What do you make of the difference in the Anthony Richardson that we saw against Utah and what you've seen the last couple of weeks, and what that leads you to think about what you'll see Saturday against Tennessee?
It's interesting. I think what I saw anyway in the Utah game is the guy that has the talent that, I mean, I know he has so much talent. And he just went out there and was playing, he started last year a little bit and, was always banged up the entire season, could not get healthy. So it was hard to get him on the field consistently. But, I think it was a guy that was relaxed and, there was really no pressure. They weren't expected to win, kind of almost the underdog at home. And he went out there and played. And then the last 2 weeks, I think you saw a guy that now as a younger player is expecting to lead the team. It's kind of this outside pressure. And it comes on younger players of saying they're, instead of, hey, relax, go play, make your reads, hand the ball off, do different things. If you got a lane, you can run, relax and go make plays and just manage and run the offense. And I think you're seeing as a guy that feels, okay, I'm now this star. There's these expectations on me that I have to live up to. And you start pressing. And I think he's really been pressing it's looked like to make the plays the last couple of weeks instead of letting the plays just come to him.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.